report I'm releasing today could not be more timely because it's a back-to-school horror story. This is a stressful time of the year for a lot of people, even if they're no longer students or parents with kids going back to school. For many people, this anxiety triggers a common nightmare. You're back in school, and you have to take an exam that you're completely unprepared for. And that's what happened to the students in the case that I'm reporting on today. But for them, the nightmare happened in real life. The students in the Health Information Management Program at Cambrian College in Sudbury believed they were training for high-demand, well-paying jobs in the health sector, particularly in hospitals, working with complex file coding systems. They had dreams of working anywhere in Canada in top medical facilities. They studied for 2 long years towards their goal. Many spent tens of thousands of dollars on tuition, books, and living expenses, only to find out that they were not only completely unprepared for the exam that would get them into the profession, they were not even eligible to take it. That's because the Health Information Management Program at Cambrian College was never recognized by the Canadian Health Information Management Association, or CHIMA, the national body that controls entry into the profession. Cambrian College knew this, but didn't tell its students. Instead, it repeatedly told them that they were working on getting CHIMA recognition and not to worry. This despite the fact that they had not even applied for CHIMA recognition until 18 months after the course started. And when they did, the program didn't even come close to CHIMA standards. When the unfortunate graduates learned they weren't eligible to write the CHIMA exam, Cambrian offered to help them by sending them back to school again if they spent another year studying and another $1,700 in tuition. They could take a course that would get them ready for the exam, and they would be reimbursed by the college if they passed. But for some of those same students, that was just another nightmare. They signed up for the course only to find out that it was too difficult. Their 2 years at Cambrian hadn't even prepared them for the course that was supposed to prepare them to write the exam. I launched my investigation into this case after more than half of the graduates from the first 2 years of the program complained. My findings were clear. Cambrian College treated them unfairly, and it was callous about their plight. It was arrogant and dismissive towards my investigation as well, an attitude that I've summed up in my report titled Too Cool for School. J'ai lancé mon enquête dans cette affaire après avoir reçu des plaintes de plus de la moitié des diplômés des 2 premières années de ce programme. Mes conclusions étaient claires. Le Collège Cambrian les a traités de manière injuste et s'est montré endurci face à leur détresse. Il a aussi montré de l'arrogance et du mépris pour mon enquête. En essayant de jouer au plus malin, l'attitude que j'ai résumée dans le titre, il ne faut pas jouer au malin avec l'école. You may recall this title from my last report, and that's no coincidence. Last month, I reported on how the Ministry of Training, Colleges, and Universities was failing to protect students of illegal, unscrupulous private career colleges that also exhibit this kind of attitude. I called on the ministry to use its powers to crack down on these facilities so Ontario students can have confidence that they will get the education they pay for. Although today's report, Too Cool for School 2, sounds like a sequel, it is even more serious than the first because this case involves colleges that are publicly funded as opposed to private career colleges. Cambrian College alone receives about $50 million each year. It's not just the students who trust that those funds are being spent on quality education that will prepare them for gainful employment. It's all taxpayers. We all have a stake in this. D'après le titre du rapport d'aujourd'hui, il ne faut pas jouer au malin avec l'école encore. On pourrait croire qu'il s'agit d'une suite. Mais cette affaire est encore plus grave que la première, car elle met en jeu des collèges financés par les deniers publics. À lui seul, le collège Cambrian reçoit environ 50 millions de dollars chaque année. Ce ne sont pas tout simplement les étudiants qui croient avec confiance que ces fonds sont consacrés à une éducation de qualité les préparant à des emplois lucratifs. Ce sont tous les contribuables. La question est d'intérêt pour nous tous. Sadly, the ministry doesn't see it that way. It hands out money to colleges, but abdicates its responsibility for ensuring that they deliver the programs they promise. It says this is out of respect for the independence of colleges, but it doesn't serve the colleges or their communities to enable programs that waste people's precious time and money and don't qualify them for the jobs they seek. The ministry assured me it is concerned about accountability, but I found its response weak and disappointing. I'm very concerned that if it does not implement stricter monitoring of the college programs it funds, we will see more cases like this. You will see more students, like the young people we interviewed, people who are trying to make a better life for themselves and their young children, who gave up 2 years of their lives and wound up doing dead-end work instead of the job of their dreams. Those students should be able to turn to their government when its publicly funded institutions let them down. The ministry was not there for them in this case, and I hope it has learned a valuable lesson.